Hello and welcome back, artists and designers. Today we are starting our journey learning how to use some simple shapes in the Shape Builder in Illustrator. So let's go ahead and get started. I have these two image files posted here, this first one and the second one. We're going to go ahead and download these, or in Google Classroom you can go ahead and copy and paste them. So I'll get the first one right now. I'm going to go ahead and copy this image, right click copy. And I'm going to head on over to Illustrator. I already have it in here, but let's start our document. So I'm going to go ahead and do a new document. I'm going to do letter for my size, so that's 8.5 by 11. I'm going to make sure my orientation is going horizontal. That will help out a little bit. And then I'm going to add a second artboard to this because I'm going to have one artboard for the first page and one for the second. We have RGB color mode, and we'll hit create. Now that we're in our document here, let's go ahead and zoom in on this one. We're going to go ahead and paste our image right in here. So I can hit Control V, and it's going to go ahead and paste that right into my document. I want to resize this, but make sure that you don't distort it. How do we not distort it? We hold the Shift key down. So hold that Shift key down when you do this, and I'm going to drag it right up here and put it at the top of my document right here, and then I'm going to go ahead back and copy the other one. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll right click, copy image, and then go back to Illustrator, and one more time, Control V, paste that in here, hold the Shift key down, resize that, and put that right up here at the top of page 2. And get that lined up here. Okay, next up, we want to lock this whole layer out. So I'm going to go over to my layers panel. I'm going to expand this a little bit. You need to find your layers window. If you can't find it, go up to window, and this is all alphabetical. Go down to make sure that you find layers. You should see it here somewhere. So we have layer 1. I'm going to click on this empty space right here, and that's going to lock the entire layer so that it won't let me write or click or anything on that layer. And now I'm going to go ahead down to this plus symbol, and I'm going to make a new layer. Okay, and this is going to be the layer we actually do the shapes. That will help so that we're not constantly clicking and moving and messing with the original images that are on there. So that's how we get it set up. I'm going to head back in here, and now I'm ready to essentially start this. So I'm going to go ahead and take my rectangular tool, zoom in here, Control plus, space bar will give you the hand and allow you to kind of scrub through this, get to where you want. And let's just start with this very first one, and then I'll pick up after this. So the rectangle tool right here, I can click and hold, and I can see there are some other options in here. Let's start with the rectangle, and let's choose a fill and no stroke. I don't want white. Pick anything other than white or black. Let's go with maybe an orange color for right now, make it kind of easy to see. So I'll go ahead and take an orange, and I have the stroke set to none in case there's a stroke on there. Let's go ahead and set to none because I want you to have a version that's a fill and a version that is just a stroke. So I'm going to take this first one. In order to make it a perfect square, if you hold the Shift key down, it's going to maintain the proportions. It doesn't have to be the exact size that I have them up here. This is just for reference. So we got plenty of extra space. So there's my first one. And then what we can do is go up here and grab the selection tool, the black arrow. And the cool thing is, if we hold the Alt key down, you'll see the cursor changes. And I can drag this right down here below it, and I get a copy. So when you hold that Alt key down and click and drag on something, it makes a duplicate of it. And here's the really easy thing as well. We can go right over here to our stroke and fill. And if I hit this arrow, it's going to swap the stroke and the fill so that I get that stroke color around it. I'm going to go ahead and crank that stroke up 1 notch, maybe 2, just so that I can see it a little bit more clearly. And you can see if I drag that over there or I drag it up here, there is no fill on it. So we got that, and we're going to keep moving right through. I'm going to stop this video right here. I'll pick up on the next one. We'll talk about some of these other shapes, but that's how we get our document set up. And you know what? Before we do anything else, I'm going to recommend that we go ahead and save our document. So let's go up to File. We'll go down here to Save. And when this pops up, do we want to save to the Creative Cloud or do we want to save on our computer? Well, we can save to the Creative Cloud for right now, but you don't get too much space. So I will go ahead and choose Save to Creative Cloud, and then we'll have to download that a little bit later. Let's give this a name. Let's call it Simple Shapes. And there we go. I'm going to hit create or save, and it's going to go ahead and save that in there. All right, I will see you in the next video. Good luck.